Hello everyone, welcome back to the Christ MotoGP YouTube channel, and today we have a new video, a video that might cause a bit of controversy. People might not like it, you can't please everybody, but this is a video discussing who has had the greatest season in the Premier class over the past 25 years. So I will give you a rundown first of who these riders and the seasons are. You'll recognize pretty much all of them. If you're new around here, don't worry. I will explain the stats behind these incredible seasons and then give my personal opinion on which season I think is the best for an individual. And that will maybe cause some controversy, but like I say, you can't please everybody and it's always good to discuss these topics. So the riders that we have in this debate are Mick Doohan 1997, Valentino Rossi 2002, Valentino Rossi 2003, Valentino Rossi 2005, Casey Stoner 2007, Jorge Lorenzo 2010, and Marc Marquez 2014 and Marc Marquez 2019. So I will give you a rundown of the win percentages. Now, I'll put them up on screen so you can see them here now. So as you can see, Mick Doohan in 1997, out of 12 races, he won them, and out of the 15 seasons, so that's an 80% win percentage. 2002, 16 races in one season, Valentino Rossi won 11, which equates to 68.75%. In 2003, Valentino Rossi won 9 races out of the 16, which equates to 56.25. 2005, he won 11 out of 17, which is 64.71. Casey Stoner in 2007 won 55.56% of the races, so that's 10 out of 18 races. Jorge Lorenzo, 50%, he won 9 out of the 18 in 2010. Marc Marquez in 2014 won 72.22%, 13 out of the 18 races. And in 2019, Marquez won 12 out of the 19, which equates to 63.16. So you've got the stats for the wins, and you look at that, and every single one is incredible. You know, the lowest we have is 50%, and that is just amazing for everyone that thinks that these riders, you know, okay, it's easy, they're on the best bikes. To win, and the lowest in this list was Jorge Lorenzo of 50%. Is just amazing. You know, that's 9 wins. Some people don't even get that in their whole career. And yeah, stunning from Lorenzo. So we'll go on to the podium percentages. Now this is where the numbers blew my mind when I was researching this. So we'll start off, as you can see on screen, Mick Doohan 1997, 93.33% podium succession. 14 out of 15 races he was on the podium. Unbelievable. 2002, Valentino Rossi. Unbelievable again. 93.75. So that's 15 out of the 16. And incredible. You see 2003, 100% podium rate for Valentino Rossi. 2003. 2005, Valentino Rossi, 94.12. 16 out of the 17 races. Casey Stoner, 77.8. It is just incredible. 14 podiums out of an 18. Jorge Lorenzo, 88.89%. 16 out of the 18 races. Marc Marquez in 2014, 77.78. 14 out of the 18. And you look at his 2019 season, which was 94.74, which was 18 out of the 19 races. So you've seen the stats, you've seen the percentages for wins and podiums. I also put a poll out on social media yesterday, so before I give you my verdict, I'll let you know what our wonderful followers on Crash MotoGP socials decided. So this was shared across Twitter and Facebook, and as you can see on screen, we had 108 voters, and they voted the 2019 season Marc Marquez as the best season of the past 25 years. So it came very close between that and the 2003 Valentino Rossi season, Casey Stoner 2007 season, was in third place, Rossi 2002, fourth, 2005, fifth, Mick Doohan 97, sixth, Marquez 2014, seventh, and Jorge Lorenzo 2010 in eighth. You've seen all that. You've seen opinions from the social media side of us. You've seen the stats that back it up. Who do I think is the greatest over this debate? Which season is? And I'm going to give you my opinion in a top three. So when I look across all these seasons, it really comes down to a number of things. So it's your involvement at the time watching the sport. What age were you? How engaged were you with MotoGP? And by the time you grew up, you understood things. So when I look at Rossi 2003, I was around 6 or 7 years old. It was a season that I always remember seeing him ride the Repsol Honda, and he was always winning in my eyes. It always seemed like Rossi was winning. And it's, for me, the number 3 season. He's never off the podium. He simply just dominated the season in terms of just consistently finishing. The Honda obviously had a lot to do with that. That machine, the RC 211V, is the most dominant machine in MotoGP history, in my opinion. The 500, the NSR 500, probably will match that and is better. But for me, growing up, the generation of that first MotoGP era is always, it sticks in my mind. And when I think about Valentino Rossi, I think of that year, and it just, he deserves the third place spot for me, because the wins, the consistency, the battles with Sete Gibana, incredible. And I think that is Rossi's best season statistically, but there could be argument that, say, 2005 is better. But for me, Valentino Rossi, in sync with a Honda, when he was riding that thing, we look at Phillip Island 2003, he got a penalty and he had to put out a gap to win the race. He just looked sensational, and that's the Rossi I think of whenever I think of, great seasons. So Rossi 2003 is my third place. Second place. Now this is going to be difficult. There's a lot of people say that back in the 90s MotoGP was boring because it was dominated by one person, and Mick Doohan for me, I was born in 1997, and I don't think I really appreciated Mick Doohan until I got into my teens and my my early 20s, really, when I really thought about the things that people have done in their career to deserve praise. Yes, the NSR 500 in the 90s, and especially 1997, was the bike to be on. It was the most dominant machine. And when you look at that 97 season, Repsol Honda won every single race with Okada, Doohan, and Crivier. We'll never see that again in terms of domination. But when you look at Mick Doohan's season, he won 12 races. He finished on the podium 14 of those times and crashed out in the last race of the year. That is just amazing. The injuries that Mick Doohan suffered back in 92, it could have ended his career. It could have ended his life. They were that serious with the complications with his leg break. And to come back, and that period of dominance that he had, and that will to not just beat people but humiliate them and just destroy them each race, that self-drive that Mick Doohan has. Casey Stoner has said that for what Mick Doohan has done in this sport will never be achieved again, because his desire to not only beat his competitors but to almost beat himself and always better his results is just crazy. So Mick Doohan gets my second place. And for number one, just to make this clear, all these seasons on this list are absolutely incredible. Casey Stoner 2007 season with Ducati, unbelievable. 10 wins and all those podiums. But for me, the 2019 season with Marc Marquez in this modern day of MotoGP will, quite frankly, go down, in my opinion, as the greatest season of all time for a rider, because he DNF'd in one race, and that was Austin, that ended his streak of winning in America. He didn't even crash by his own mistake that day. There was a glitch with the engine braking, and it caused Cal Crutchlow to crash earlier on in that race, and the engine braking had a glitch and Marquez dropped the front. And if he had have won that, that would have been 100% podium rate. You think about it in 2019, he would have been first or second in every single race. And it was just an incredible year. 12 wins, the dominant fashion. He wasn't even, in my opinion, and it backs it up when you look at the stats and the other riders that year, he wasn't on the best bike. The Honda was nowhere near the best bike. It's suited to Marc and how he rides it. And he can do things on that bike that others simply can't. Jorge Lorenzo got nowhere near him. Jorge Lorenzo was just inside the points in 2019. Obviously, he retired at the end of that year. And Marquez just rode the absolute wheels off that. I think at the qualifying laps, you know, for me, when someone seemed unbeatable is in qualifying, and Marquez putting the dry tires on around the Czech Republic in Brno, and the track was, it was raining and he was out on slicks and he just smashed everybody in qualifying. There was no need for him to do that, but he did it. And the close battles that he had that year, you know, he could have won more. But to win 12 races in a era of MotoGP in one season that's so close with electronics, tires, you know, everyone is so tightly knit, for him to stand out like that and not even on the best bike, for me, it is the best season of all time for a rider. And I'd love to know your thoughts below on out of this list and others that I haven't included in this list. What you think is the best? Like I say, it's just our opinion. Don't take it for it's not biblical. It's not set in stone. I love discussing things like this with you guys, and it's always great to get your opinion. But yes, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to Crash MotoGP for more content over this off season, and I will see you in the next video.